Last year, we got our hands on what we thought was the ultimate photography smartphone, the vivo X300 Pro. Together with the Pro Photographer kit that came with the vivo X300 Pro was one very capable smartphone for capturing photos and videos, and altogether as a smartphone. Well, that's until Vivo Philippines announced that the more capable X300 Ultra would also go on sale in the country. Similar to the X300 Pro, the X300 Ultra is also available with a photographer kit which features Gen 2 Zeiss telephoto lenses. However, the X300 Ultra is also a lot more expensive. Still, for those of you curious as to what the Vivo X300 Ultra offers, let's find out in this review. Since the Vivo X300 Ultra is part of the X300 series, it's no surprise that its design is nearly identical to that of the X300 Pro we reviewed last year. The back panel features a large circular camera island housing the triple rear camera system. It's a simple but beautiful design, with most of the attention being drawn to the camera island. The back panel is relatively clean, featuring a simple two-tone design. There's also the Vivo logo on the bottom left, which, if you're wondering why it's oriented that way, is because it helps make the phone look like a mini DSLR when the rest of the photographer kit is fitted onto it, or when you're shooting in horizontal mode. Going back to the phone itself, I think this shade of green looks great as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the only color available. As expected, the phone feels premium to the touch, featuring a metal frame and a glass back panel. It's a relatively large phone, but the button placements are very ergonomic. As usual, the volume rocker and power button are on the right side, while at the bottom, you'll find the USB-C port, one of the two loudspeakers, and the dual SIM card slot. The left side of the phone is clean, while at the top, there are a few more holes for the speaker and the secondary mic. Now, some might find the camera island a bit bulky, but again, it just takes a while to get used to. The only minor issue we found with the X300 though is the thickness of the camera island. It makes the phone feel very top heavy. Not to mention, it's almost impossible to make it lie flat if you want to edit videos or play games. I also found it concerning since it's likely the first part of the back that would get hit if the phone gets dropped. And while the island might be a bit concerning when it comes to drops, the phone itself is well protected from the elements. It features an IP68 and IP69 rating for dust and water resistance. This means this phone can take a quick dip underwater and it'll come out okay. However, that's for the phone alone. If you have the photographer kit with you, along with the grip and the telephoto lens, those don't have the same IP rating, so be careful. For reference, the photographer kit comes with two Zeiss lenses, a case with the PGY Tech straps, along with an imaging grip kit. The display of the Vivo X300 Ultra is probably one of the best we've tried this year. It's a 6.83-inch LTPO AMOLED panel with a 144Hz refresh rate and support for Dolby Vision in HDR10+. It's a very high-resolution display. Interestingly though, this option isn't set as the default resolution. Users will have to change it in the settings from Ultra HD to Extreme HD to take advantage of this setting. Outside of the specs, it results in a more immersive viewing experience. The colors are very vivid and there's a nice contrast too, even in the default natural color mode. Users who want the colors to pop even more can switch to the bright, but in our opinion, it makes the colors a bit too saturated. Whichever color option users choose though, they'll definitely enjoy watching shows on this phone. And again, it's very enjoyable to do so. We could easily pass the time watching our favorite YouTube series on this phone or anything we could think of watching. But of course, we're definitely sure users will enjoy checking out the images and videos captured using the cameras of the X300 Ultra on this display. With the 144Hz refresh rate, the animations are smooth too, and I'm sure gamers will benefit from it the most. And given the chipset it has, it's great for gaming, but more on that later. As for the speakers, they're a bit decent for a flagship level smartphone. Interestingly, there's no Dolby audio here. And honestly, it's not really the best sounding speakers for a flagship level smartphone, but at least there is some good separation. More importantly, the vocals are clear even if there is a lack of bass. Not to mention, the speakers are loud and there is no distortion even when the volume is maxed out, which is great. By the way, I forgot to mention, for biometrics, there's an in-display ultrasonic fingerprint sensor and face unlock. Unlocking the phone with the ultrasonic sensor is quick and highly reliable, even allowing us to use it with damp
fingers.
Moving on to our favorite feature of the Vivo X300 Ultra, which is undoubtedly the cameras. Vivo upgraded the main and ultra-wide on the X300 Ultra from the X300 Pro. The X300 Ultra features a 200 megapixel main, a 200 megapixel periscope telephoto, and a 50 megapixel ultra-wide. For selfies, users have a 50 megapixel front camera. No question, that's one stacked lineup of cameras, and it's not just a specs pusher. In real-world use, the cameras work amazingly well. Whether we're using the main, telephoto, or even the ultra-wide, the image quality is superb. There's no difference in quality when switching lenses when we're taking photos, meaning the quality stays the same all throughout. Even in low light situations, there's barely any noticeable difference. All of the images came out sharp and the colors are vivid, but they're not overly saturated. It even looks a bit moody when we're just using the default color profile.
With Zeiss-tuned cameras, of course, there's also Zeiss color profile available.
In this color profile, the colors look a lot more natural out of the box, but users can fine-tune the settings even more to suit their preference. The same can be done for other color profiles if you want a different look and feel to the images. It's not just the color profiles you can play around with though. There are various photo modes to choose from, including street photography and landscape and night. In these modes, users can quickly switch to Pro mode, allowing them to adjust camera parameters even further, such as shutter speed, ISO, and the like. These modes help users frame and capture photos better and even offer different themes or color profiles for that matter, depending on the conditions. However, sticking to regular photo mode is great already, especially if there's not enough time to set up a proper shot. Now, for video, the camera can record up to 8K at 30 FPS max. However, we noticed that it doesn't have the best quality even with the high resolution. And also, noticeably, the stabilization isn't that great in 8K. It also eats up a lot more storage. With that, most of the videos we shot were in 4K. Not to mention, Dolby Vision only works in 4K resolution. Thankfully, even at 4K 120 FPS, Dolby Vision still works, giving users better colors and contrast. Similar to the images, the videos come out sharp in 4K and there's no difference in terms of the quality when you're shooting with either of the three lenses. For users who need a bit more stabilization, there's Ultra Stabilization mode available, but it limits video recording to 2.8K at 30 FPS. Honestly, it's not really needed unless you have really shaky hands. Similarly, there is also Pro mode available, allowing users to adjust the settings manually. Videos can also be recorded in log format, giving users more control over when adjusting settings in post. Now I know this is probably one of the longer camera segments for a review, and all of the adjustments and settings can be overwhelming, especially for those who aren't used to playing around with the cameras. But for those who know how to maximize it and know what they're doing, they definitely won't be disappointed with the cameras of the Vivo X300 Ultra. Not to mention, those who get the photographer kit can also take advantage of two add-on zoom lenses. There's a 200mm Zeiss lens with 2.35 times optical zoom and a 400mm lens with 4.7 times optical zoom. Unfortunately, the focal length is unchangeable. With that, we found the 200mm to be the most useful to bring around. There's also the grip kit, which attaches via the USB-C port. With this, it makes the X300 Ultra almost like a camera, since the zoom function, shutter button, and movie record are all easily within reach. This makes it more convenient to use as a camera, especially with the Zeiss lenses installed. The only downside is that with these attachments equipped, it's more of a camera now instead of a phone. So it's not really practical to bring around, which we'll get to later. Now, the cameras might be the highlight of the Vivo X300 Ultra, but that doesn't mean it's not a great phone to use on a daily basis. It packs a lot of punch, featuring a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, along with Vivo's professional imaging chip VS1 Plus, which mainly helps with the post-processing of photos. Our review unit comes with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of UFS 4.1 storage. There's no micro SD slot to expand storage further, meaning if users plan to take up a lot of raw photos or log videos, it might run out fairly quickly. With the chipset it comes with, we're no longer surprised at what the X300 Ultra can handle. Needless to say, all your productivity apps won't be an issue. Even if you leave them all running in the background, you can quickly switch back and forth between them to pick up where you left off. Now, when it comes to games, it could handle them all well. We mainly played Neverness to Everness on this phone. and it didn't have any problems running on the max settings. There weren't any frame rate drops or lags, and the loading times were fast too. We were able to explore the map and spend countless hours on the game, mainly because of how great NTE looked on this phone. That said, if this phone could run NTE without issues, we're certain it can handle almost all the games you can think of. This goes for lighter titles like Genshin and even ZZZ and even WoWa. The only issue when gaming is that the X300 Ultra has a tendency to heat up. It's not limited to NTE, as we also felt the phone becoming quite warm when we were only playing Genshin. Thankfully, there's no drop in performance even when the phone started to heat up. As for the benchmarks, they're on screen right now, and these are some seriously impressive numbers. The vivo X300 Ultra runs on Android 16, skinned with Origin OS 6. It's a nice looking OS and it's very easy to use even for those coming from iOS like me. There's also the usual AI functionalities like Google's Gemini and Circle to search. We also get AI features in the Notes app, which can help with writing and expanding topics for those who have those writer's block. Meanwhile, the AI editor in the gallery is similar to most Android phones out there, where users can retouch their photos, delete people or objects in the background, and expand the image. But given how amazing the photos are already out of the box, there's not a lot of use for it except for removal. Fortunately, there's not a lot of bloatware on Origin OS 6 on the X300 Ultra, and they're all neatly hidden in one app. But what we didn't like is that we were getting notifications and ads from the V App Store. It was so annoying to keep seeing random notifications pop up that we ended up turning off notifications for that app. Now, in terms of support, the OS supports up to 5 years of upgrades and 7 years of security patches. For everything the vivo X300 Ultra can do, you'd expect it to have a relatively normal battery life, right? It packs a 6,600 mAh battery pack, and surprisingly, it lasts a very long time. At 93%, the phone says it still has more than 2 days of battery life left, which at first we thought was quite optimistic. But even after using the phone for an entire day to take photos, videos, and watch YouTube, it didn't drain the battery that much. With PCMark's battery test, we were able to record 22 hours and 2 minutes of battery life, which is amazing considering this is just a 6,600 mAh battery. The only time the battery drained relatively faster was when we were playing games for extended periods of time. Fortunately, there's no need to worry about charging since the phone features 100-watt wired fast charging and 40-watt wireless fast charging. The X300 Ultra also features reverse wired and reverse wireless charging to help out your homies. For connectivity, there's eSIM support, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC, GPS, and infrared. Now overall, the vivo X300 Ultra is a great phone, especially for those who love taking photos and videos. It's a great alternative to bringing a camera, especially for those who want to travel light. Not to mention the display is beautiful too. And with the capable chipset, it can handle almost all the games users can think of. For users who want to enhance the photography and videography experience further, they can pick it up with the photographer kit, which includes the lenses, case, and the camera grip. If anything, the only thing we didn't like about the X300 Ultra are the ads and notifications coming from the Vivo apps. But thankfully, these can be addressed in the settings. Another issue I'm sure most people would have with the Vivo X300 Ultra is the price. For those who thought the X300 Pro was already expensive, well, this one's a lot more expensive. The vivo X300 Ultra starts at 109,999 pesos for the phone alone. Want the X300 Ultra photographer kit like ours? This will set you back 149,999 pesos. That's more expensive than some full-frame cameras on the market today, which will undoubtedly still capture better images provided the user has the skills. There's also the problem of the size. If you have the photographer kit installed, this isn't technically a phone anymore. It's a camera. So you have to consider, would you want to bring it around with these, or would you just get the phone and get the camera as well, like a point and shoot? Again, no doubt, that's a lot of money. And honestly, for those who won't be able to maximize the potential of the X300 Ultra's cameras, this isn't exactly the perfect phone for you. But for those who want to take photos and videos on the go without having to bring a separate camera or choose not to have a separate camera with them, the X300 Ultra is a great choice, no doubt about it. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it eventually becomes a camera with the photographer kit. Still, what do you guys think of the vivo X300 Ultra and the photographer kit available with it? Would you pick up one of these, or would you spend money on a full frame camera instead? Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comments. below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe to watch more. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And of course, visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Jose. I'll see you guys in the next video.